Hey guys, what's going on? In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you an audio version of my recent article, Gym Training for Footballers, Everything You Need to Know, with free workout templates. In order to see actual workout templates and all the images of this article, I'll put the link right in the description for you so that you can head over to my website and see and read it for yourself. Without further ado, let's jump in. Gym Training for Footballers, Everything You Need to Know, with free workout templates. As a footballer, you should be focusing on quite a lot of stuff inside the gym. Stretching and foam rolling, breathing properly, stabilizing your weak muscles and mobilizing tight ones. Jumping high and running fast, doing plyos, lifting heavy things, and probably get those bicep curls in on top of that. And I remember starting out myself. Out of all the things I mentioned above, the only thing I was doing consistently was bicep curls. Going from there, I've done many things wrong. Probably too many. Lucky me, I was able to meet and learn from the smartest people in the strength and conditioning industry, starting from Mark Ripito's book Starting Strength and Practical Programming and going to Joe DeFranco's levels 1 and 2 certificate of physical preparation specialist. So the reason you are reading this article or listening to it is because I want you to get the information you need in order to become a better athlete and potentially a better footballer. Yes, you had it right, potentially. Because all the things you are doing in the weight room will only increase your potential to display a better performance on the field. At the end of the day, it comes down to much more than being a physically prepared athlete. In order to play your best, you also need to set your mindset right, obtain great football skills, and have insatiable hunger for success, with enormous amount of will to keep going through setbacks and not giving up. That being said, let me take care of a physical part of the equation for you. Suggested read: nutritional article, recovery article, mindset article. In this one, you'll learn exactly what to do in the gym, from the moment you step your foot in the door until the moment you leave. Changing clothes and showering are not included, even though they are essential. Each and every workout you should go through 5 stages. First, preparation. Second, power. Third, strength. 4, conditioning. 5, recovery. First, preparation. If you're serious about your training, you probably already know that warming up is important. Moreover, the days of jogging a lap, then bending over and touching your toes a couple of times and calling that your warm-up are gone. There are 5 phases in the preparation stage. First, soft tissue release, 3 to 5 minutes. Foam rollers, sticks and lacrosse balls are the starting point when preparing for a training session, with the goal to reduce soreness and temporarily boost flexibility and mobility, which helps achieve proper position and better movement quality. Here's the template to follow I give to all of my online coaching clients. Spend 10 rolls or about 30 seconds at each area. Second, positional breathing, 2 to 3 minutes. Even though we breathe 20,000 times a day, we don't know how to breathe properly. Breathing properly, though, is necessary to restore your posture, balance inhalation versus exhalation, improve mobility, and enhance performance. During your inhale, focus on expanding your belly and ribcage like a balloon 360 degrees and exhale fully afterwards. Pick 1 to 2 positions from exercises like crocodile breathing, 90-90 breathing, TRX deep squat breathing, beer breathing, and spend 1 to 3 sets of 2 to 5 deep breaths on each. 3. Stretching/mobility, 3 to 5 minutes. Stretching before a workout won't negatively impact neither your strength nor power. The goal here is to open up the potential for movement in painful regions and to achieve better position during athletic movements like jumps, sprints, throws, and lifting. Common areas to address include hips and adductors in the lower body and pecs, lats, and posterior shoulders in the upper body. Spend 20-30 seconds on each exercise. Lower body exercises. Pick 3 to 5. Hip rotator stretch, half kneeling adductor stretch, rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch, wall quad stretch, quadruped hip IR internal rotation, calf stretch, ankle mobility exercises, frog stretch. Upper body exercises. Pick 2 to 3. 90-90 pec stretch, bench T-spine mobilization, V-stance T-spine rotation, half kneeling pec mobility with stick, bent multi-angle shoulder stretches, bent lat stretches, pec wall stretch, reach throughs, quadruped rotation to extension, side to side chest stretch. Fourth, stabilization activation, 3 to 5 minutes. Now it's time to work on quality of your movement. Here you want to reinforce mobility you've acquired from stretching through a full range of motion and activate core musculature with commonly down-regulated muscle groups like glutes and upper back. Remember, leash athletic movement requires not only mobility but stability as well. It's like you've heard in Spider-Man movies, with great power comes great responsibility. The same goes for your body. With great mobility comes need for great stability. Lower back activation exercises. Pick 1 to 2 and perform for 1 to 2 sets of 3 to 5 reps. Glute bridge variations, cable pull through, bodyweight squat, squat to stand and reach, squat to side lunge, striders with rotation, X band walks, bend AB ducted squats, forward/reverse lunge and reach, quadruped slide/circles, Frankensteins, backward lunge to Frankensteins, Cossack squat, kettlebell swing, bent iron cross good mornings, bent side shuffle, donkey kicks, fire hand dried circles, roll over into V-sits, TKEs. Upper body activation exercises. Pick 1 to 2 and perform for 1 to 2 sets of 3 to 5 reps. Floor slide, bent multi-angle pull apart, face pull variations, wall slides, UTWL, posterior flies, push-up plus on knees, bend external rotation, bend dislocations, bend press, shoulder twist, Hindi push-ups, Blake Burns, D. Franco or diesel version style. Core activation exercises. Pair 1 to 2 and perform for 1 to 2 sets of 3 to 5 reps or 10 to 20 seconds hold. Anti-extension exercises. Plank hold variation, TRX fall out, body saw, AB ab wheel roll out, dead back variations. Anti-rotation exercises. Push up shoulder tap, plank with reach, chop/lift variations, pal-off press variations, bear crawl variations. Anti-lateral flexion exercises. Side plank hold variation, side plank row, suitcase carry, offset carry, contralateral loading. The reason I don't prescribe many crunches nor sit-ups, if any at all, is because your core has two main tasks. First, prevent movement. Second, link the upper and lower body to create power. Quote, by preventing movement, the core safeguards internal structures like the spine from folding up like an accordion. End of quote. Charlie Gould. As you can see, if you want to have a long and healthy training career without injuries, you should start incorporating anti-movement exercises into your workout routine. Moreover, when you perform heavy compound lifts and or any athletic movements like jumps, sprints, punches and throws, there are present power links between upper and lower body. The second job of the core is to minimize those links by linking the upper and lower body and creating power, and therefore allowing for a better performance to be displayed. Dynamic phase, 5 to 10 minutes. In this phase you are going to perform all types of dynamic movements like hops, skips and bounds to learn coordination, rhythm, reciprocal patterning, i.e. synced up arm/leg action, and proper running mechanics. Remember that your sport happens in 3 dimensions. That's why you should not only move linearly forward, but laterally and backwardly as well. Template of a dynamic phase. Complete each movement for 3 to 5 reps or 10 to 20 yards. Overall preparation phase should take about 15 to 20 minutes to complete. So you released, breathed, mobilized, stabilized and performed some hops and skips. What's next? Second stage, power. One of my biggest training mistakes is that I trained for maximal strength only. I was solely doing heavy squats, deadlifts and benches. In the beginning I was progressing, but it didn't last long. Quote, despite my job title as a strength and conditioning coach, I care far more about power than I do strength. End of quote, Charlie Gould. Now I could not agree more with this dude. For a very long time, I firmly believed that in the weight room, your sole focus should be on lifting heavy things. As Eric Cressy says, quote, "Strength should be thought of as a glass of water. Inside the glass, there are all the physical qualities of athletic performance, speed, power, agility, endurance, etc. And the bigger the glass, the more these physical qualities can be expressed." End of quote. So, while strength remains being the base of your athletic pyramid, in order to become better on the athletic field, you should then learn to exert this obtained strength quickly. In order to do that, you will incorporate different types of training like jumps, plyos, ballistics, dynamic effort lifting, and sprints. What exercises to use? Below you will find some of my favorites: upper, lower, and full body options, and how to program them. How to program. Depending on your goals and the training phase, you want to perform from 2 to 5 exercises in this phase. Keep the intensity high and the volume low. Most common mistakes I see footballers make is performing either too many reps of an exercise or taking too little rest, or both simultaneously. So when striving for speed and power development, forget about high rep box jumps with incomplete rest intervals. Remember, when someone recommends you to jump for 8+ reps in one set in order to develop speed and power, they are full of shit. Real quick so you can understand. In order to develop power, you have to train within anaerobic alactic system, the most powerful out of all three of them. But it also lasts only about 8 to 12 seconds. You see, 8 to 12 seconds. When you sprint, you can't run full speed for a minute straight. It's about 60 to 100 meters, 8 to 12 seconds that you're using your alactic system. Then glycolytic starts to get over and power starts to decline. For this exact reason, I mostly recommend no more than 2 to 3 jumps in one set of an exercise like a box jump when it's a power enhancement goal you're after. Because in order to develop power, you have to train within power energy system, alactic. You should also fully catch your breath in between exercises so that you're ready to perform next set with the maximum intent, being fully recovered. It comes down to about 45 to 90 seconds of rest in between sets on most exercises like 10-yard sprints, med ball throws and jumps, etc. Your heart rate should be around 110 to 125 beats per minute before starting next set. Below you can see 3 templates of the power stage I use with my athletes. In general, it should take about 5 to 15 minutes for you to complete the power stage. Third, strength. Remember what I said in the previous stage about strength being the base of your athletic pyramid? Here's why. Power equals force times velocity. Strength is your ability to apply force against an external resistance, i.e., how hard you can push into the ground when sprinting or trying to squat a heavy barbell. Power then is your ability to display strength quickly, but you cannot display something that you don't have in the first place. From these physics statements, you can start to comprehend how vital it is for you as a footballer to have high levels of strength. Without having them, you won't be able to run fast, jump high, or display any other type of explosive/athletic activity. Why then, you might ask, power lifters are not the fastest guys out there? Good question. Because when it comes to athletic performance, it's way more important being strong relatively to your own body weight. So it's not enough being able to squat 140 kilos while weighing 100 kilos. Being 70 kilos yourself and squat 140 kilos. Now there's some strength relative to your body weight going on. That will definitely translate into faster sprints and higher jumps on the field. Now when you understand the basics, let's go through a 2-step process that will help you determine your overall program. First, exercise selection. What exercise to do? Should I back squat or should I front squat? Should I do the conventional deadlift or the trap bar? While this topic may seem extremely confusing at first, it really isn't. Here's the most important rule to follow when building your program. Train the movement, not the exercise. When it comes down to improving your athleticism and aesthetics while remaining injury-free, incorporating all the foundational movement patterns like squat, hinge, push, pull, lunge and carry into your training is crucial. When you get strong at these basics, each and every muscle of your body will receive more than enough stimulation. Here's the most beautiful thing of building your training program of movements. You can choose whatever exercise suits you the most. For example, if benching with a barbell hurt your shoulders, you can easily switch to dumbbells and get all the benefits of a push movement without hurting yourself. Remember, no exercise is an absolute necessity for improvement. Here's your cheat sheet and progression-regression model of all the four-dimensional movement patterns that I learned from CPPS certification. Choose the exercise you can perform with the perfect form for prescribed amount of reps. More on sets and reps in the next step. And most importantly, that you can perform without any pain/discomfort. Now that you've got a variety of exercises to choose from based on your current level, let's move on. Rule number 2. Train the foundational movements 2 to 3 times a week. Say goodbye to your bro split, where you're hitting one muscle group 1 time per week, by having chest, back, shoulders, arms and legs days. If you train 2 to 3 times per week, the best option is to perform full body workouts on each of those days, making sure you train each movement pattern at least 2 times within the span. If you're training 4 to 5 times per week, your options are more open-ended. Some individuals respond best to an upper-lower split. Other individuals who train 5 times per week can see great results when they do a push day, a pull day, a full upper body day, and 2 lower body days. It doesn't really matter what split you choose, as long as you're progressing and getting stronger at the fundamental movements that you learned in rule number 1. Rule number 3. Vary exercises. First and foremost, there's no such thing as muscle confusion. There's only muscle adaptation. Muscle are pretty stupid and don't know the difference between a dumbbell bench press, cable fly, and a barbell bench press. They simply respond to tension and stress in the musculature that's being trained. But at some point you will adapt to a certain exercise, so it's better to change things up slightly now and then. Slightly, now and then. I'm not saying to hop up on a completely new program every other week, but rather it means that you should slightly alter the grip width, increase the bench angle by 15 to 30 degrees, or make small adjustments to your compound lifts. General recommendation is to stick with your compound lifts for about 3 to 6 weeks, and about 3 to 4 weeks is going to be a sweet spot for supplemental and accessory exercises. How often you change your exercises mainly depends on how quickly you learn the technique and adapt to any given exercises. Rule number 4. Pull twice as much as you push. It's all about restoring your posture, eliminating shoulder and lower back pain, and moving better, so that you can perform better. Things like handheld technologies, sedentary daily postures, and excessive sitting are all responsible for your need to strengthening the posterior chain, backside of your body. In simple terms, there needs to be a 2 to 1 pull to push ratio and a 2 to 1 horizontal to vertical pull ratio. The reason for this is simple. It comes down to the balance of internal versus external rotation. Poor daily postures are categorized by internally rotated and protracted shoulder blade positions. 2 of the most popular pushing movements, the barbell bench press and the overhead press, work the shoulder by training internal rotation. Horizontal pulling, IG, double row, keeps the shoulder in a neutral position in order to move the glenohumeral joint into a more externally rotated position. What I'm trying to say is, movements like this are must need in your training regimen. Don't forget about your lower body. While most of the workout you'll find online will look something like this: squats, leg presses, lunges, leg extension, and leg curls with a 4 to 1 knee dominant to hip dominant ratio, this is going to be detrimental for the knees, hips, and low back health, as the glutes and hammies need to be primarily pliers in most lower body exercises for overall strength and longevity. 2. Determine sets and rep scheme. Now when you understand how to choose exercises best suited for you, let's look at how to actually use them. Keep in mind, while there is no absolute best set and rep scheme, neither for power, nor muscle building, nor for fat loss, as there is no perfect workout. Some options are simply better do the job that's required. As one smart dude says, quote, "The best training plan is one that you are currently not on." End of quote. With writing all of this information, I also assume that your performance on the field is the most important thing for you, not stepping on the stage and showing off your chest and tricep. With these things in mind, let's dive into 4 most common sets and rep schemes. First, 1 to 5 reps, power scheme. The 1 to 5 rep range is typically reserved for absolute strength in the compound lifts, where you can use a whole lot of weight. You'll generally want to program things like squats, deadlifts, bench/overhead presses, and pull-in exercises like bent over rows and chin-ups for this rep range. You can throw heavy-ass sled pushes for 10 yards in here as well. Heavy lifting is highly beneficial for creating maximal strength capacity, which translates into increased motor unit recruitment and the neural drive. It will undoubtedly improve your muscles' ability to generate more force and contract maximally during any sport activity. To learn more benefits of lifting heavy stuff, you can read this article. Second, 5 to 8 reps, strength and size scheme. The 5 to 8 reps range is generally categorized as the hybrid strength and size protocol. The rep range should incorporate the core compound lifts, as well as certain supplemental exercises. Helps to think dumbbells instead of barbells and more unilateral work, in order to create a hypertrophy effect while simultaneously build functional strength. Third, 8 to 12 reps, bodybuilding scheme. As you might already have heard from me, this was my biggest trap when I first got introduced to weight training. While it's obviously a great scheme to build muscle, given that the time under tension is great in duration here, and since it's a crucial factor when it comes to building muscle. When it comes down to training an athlete though, I reserve doing sets of 8 to 12 reps only for either some fun at the end of the workout if an athlete wants it, or I'll program it somewhere deep in the off season with skinny dudes who truly need to put on some muscle. 4. 12 plus reps, injury prevention scheme. These sets are best utilized as an intense finisher to any type of training day. Embrace the suck, keep rest periods short, and push yourself to the absolute limit, as going to failure here won't take a significant toll on the system. Things like bodyweight glute bridges, dumbbell RDLs, TRX rows, face pulls, bent pull-aparts are all valuable options to choose from in order to do some prehab work and strengthen common down-regulated and injured muscle groups, or to build muscle in the upper back region to facilitate more optimal pain-free performance. Remember, you can never get enough of the upper back walk. Now, when you get a general idea of why and how every scheme works, let's go through 3 rules of applying it into your training. Rule number 1, focus. You can specialize in power, strength, and conditioning development at once. Once sets and reps go up in one phase set of your program, they have to come down somewhere else. The more variety that you have in your program, jumps and plyos, med balls work, conditioning, etc., the less volume you will be able to do on strength training. So pick one goal for a training cycle and put maximum effort on it, while keeping the rest to a minimum. Rule number 2, choose appropriate sets and rep scheme for an exercise. To put it simply, when chasing power development, you shouldn't try to go for 20 reps on a back squat, while getting the thickest band in the gym and doing 3 sets of 3 bent pull-aparts. You most certainly should build your workouts by this principle. Big compound movements for 3 to 6 sets of 2 to 5 reps with 3 to 5 minutes rest in between sets first. Accessory lifts for 2 to 3 of 5 to 8 reps with 2 to 3 minutes rest in between sets second. Prehab or pump work for 1 to 3 sets of 12 plus reps with 30 to 90 seconds rest in between sets last. Rule number 3, more reps, less sets. Less reps, more sets. When doing heavy lifting in 2 to 5 rep range, it's smart to keep sets somewhere between 3 to 6. Likewise, when doing high rep injury prevention stuff, sets of 15 to 20 reps is going to be 1 to 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps is going to be a sweet spot for most cases. That's all about the theory you're going to get on strength training. Up until this point, you've already learned how to prepare your body for a training session and develop power using sprints, jumps, plyos, med balls, etc. Now let's dive into my philosophy of lifting weights for footballers and how you should structure your strength work. First, pick your indicator exercises. I firmly believe that in order to make progress, you should strive for a particular goal. Moreover, there should be a strong reason behind everything you do in the weight room. For this exact reason, you will focus your program on the indicator exercises. These indicator lifts are your money exercises with the highest potential carryover to your sport. These exercises are going to differ from person to person. Remember progression-regression model and rules on how to choose an exercise. But with an absolute majority of footballers I work with, I found these exercises to yield the biggest improvements to the performance on the field. These 4 strength exercises are chin-up, trap bar deadlift, parallel push, and Bulgarian split squat. I won't go in depth on explaining why exactly these exercises because I already wrote an article and recorded a podcast on them, at which you can take a look by clicking here. So everything past this point you're about to perform in the strength stage is going to be for the sake of getting stronger at those lifts and prevent injuries. You are going to perform this exercise at the beginning of your workout in the power sets and rep scheme for 1 to 5 reps. Exception will be parallel pushes, which are going to perform for 10 yards. Pick supplemental exercises. There are 2 rules to follow when picking your supplemental exercises. Rule number 1. Pick accessories that will boost your indicator lifts. At this stage of your workout, you'll want to strengthen your weak links that are preventing you from progressing on your money exercises. Exercise selection is highly dependable on an individual at this point, but here are some great options that will probably help you in building your indicators lift. Look up progression-regression model for more exercises. Chin-up, dumbbell row variations, barbell row variations, T-bar row, pull-down variations, cable row variations. Trap bar deadlift. Step-up variations, reverse lunges, side lunges, front lunges, Bulgarian split squats, box squats, parallel pushes, RDLs, single leg RDLs, kettlebell swings, hip thrusts, glute bridges, front squats, goblet squats, and hang cleans. Parallel push. Step-up variations, reverse lunges, side lunges, front lunges, Bulgarian split squat, box squat, trap bar deadlifts, RDL, single leg RDLs, kettlebell swings, hip thrusts, glute bridges, front squats, and goblet squats. Bulgarian split squat, step-up variations, reverse lunges, side lunges, front lunges, Bulgarian split squat, box squat, trap bar deadlift, RDL, single leg RDLs, kettlebell swings, hip thrusts, glute bridges, front squats, goblet squats, and parallel pushes. Rule number 2. Prehab is always better than rehab. Properly built strength training program is one of the best prehab and rehab you can do, and you don't have to wait until the end of your workout to focus on high rep, 12 plus rep stuff. Accessory exercises are also amazing for improving muscular and movement imbalances, especially unilateral exercises when you perform a movement one leg arm at a time, like a single leg RDL, stimulating muscle growth, increasing core strength, and preventing injury. Training the posterior chain's musculature, glutes, hamstrings, and upper back is going to bulletproof the body against chronic pain in shoulders, hips, knees, and lower back. So this rule comes down to incorporate unilateral training and hammering the backside of your body. Third, finish off with some type of higher rep, prehab, or pump work. At this phase of the workout, you are going to perform some prehab exercises, core work and/or work on the areas where you want to make visual improvements. You can also incorporate things like isometric holds, pauses, along with slow eccentric lowering phases. Since you already hit most of the muscle groups, now is the time to focus on the upper back, core, arms, shoulders, hamstrings, and glutes. Sets should be taken to momentary muscle failure, as going to failure here won't take a significant toll on the central nervous system. Rest periods should be kept short, somewhere between 30 to 60 seconds. Here's some options for you to choose from. Upper body prehab, TRX row variations, fails pull variation, floor slide, bend pull apart variation, wall slide, UTWL, posterior flies, band external rotation, band dislocation, band press, Hindi push-ups, Blake Burns, D. Franco/Diesel variations. Upper body pump, push-up variations, band/cable/dumbbell chest fly/incline fly/lateral raise, dumbbell bent over raise, face pull variations, front plate rises, dumbbell curl variations, tricep extension/push down, lower body pre-hop/pump, glute bridge/hip thrust variation, cable pull through, bodyweight squat, squat to side lunge, X bend walks, bend abducted squats, bend abductions, forward/reverse/side lunges, kettlebell swings, bend iron cross good mornings, bend side shuffle, donkey kicks, TKEs, stability ball leg curls, slider leg curls, lying leg curls, goblet squat variations. Core work, plank hold variation, TRX fall out, body saw, up wheel roll out, dead back variation, push up shoulder tap, plank with reach, chop/lift variations, pull-off press variations, bear crawl variation, side plank hold variation, side plank row, suitcase carry, offset carry, control loading. Strength stage workout templates, upper body focused, lower body focused. Strength stage should take about 30 to 60 minutes to complete. Fourth stage, conditioning. I already wrote a long conditioner article which you can read by clicking here. That being said, I can't leave you with nothing in this one, so I'll provide you with some templates. First and foremost, you have to know this. The best way to get in shape for football is to play football, no way around it. So if you have 4+ practices a week with your team or you train individually, you should skip this stage as you already get plenty of conditioning from football practices, where you're constantly accelerating, changing directions with or without the ball, making sprints, etc. For this reason, you don't need to spend time working on your conditioning. Instead, you should be working on your strength in the weight room and power development. To quote Brian Cullen, if speed development is done well, conditioning can be limited to a micro dose from the sport. The idea of raising an athlete's speed reserve has also but replaced normal conditioning. End of quote. That being said, here are a couple of templates and training methods I like to use deep in the off-season that I've learned from Joe DeFranco and Mike Boyle. First, tempo run. With tempo running, your last rep should be looking very similar to your first one. You should not be slowing down. Tempo runs are not full-out sprints. They are meant to be 75% of a sprint. You should stay in the aerobic zone, so rest accordingly. Instructions. Run for 15 seconds or about 75 to 100 meters. Rest for about 45 seconds and repeat 5 to 15 times, depending on your fitness level. Bike sprint. With bike sprints, your last rep should be looking very similar to your first one. Pick a speed you can maintain for all prescribed reps. The goal is to find the fastest speed you can maintain for the duration of 20 seconds each rep. Instructions. Sprint for 20 seconds and rest for 10 seconds. Repeat for 5 to 15 times, depending on your fitness level. Third, 150 yards shuttle run. Shuttle runs are meant to be full speed. Make sure to decelerate enough at your turns enough so that you can effectively change direction. Face the same direction every other rep. For the first 150 yards, face the same ball on both turns. For the next 150 yards, face the opposite one. Repeat for prescribed amount of reps. Instructions. 150-yard shuttle runs, 25-yard intervals, up and back 3x. Each rep should take about 28 to 32 seconds to complete. Rest 90 seconds between each rep and perform for 5 to 8 times, depending on your fitness level. Conditioning stage will take somewhere between 10 to 20 minutes to complete. Fifth stage, recovery. The last thing you want to do after finishing your session is to head over to changing rooms with your heart rate being 150 beats per minute. Instead, you want to kickstart the recovery process right away. Remember, by training for 1 to 2 hours, you get slower and weaker. Only by giving your body the proper recovery will you be able to grow stronger and faster. You can read my comprehensive recovery guide by clicking here. My favorite strategies to incorporate at this stage of a workout are deep breathing and static stretching. The point of doing this is to lower your heart rate and enter the parasympathetic mode to start recovering processes. I like to use passive stretches to increase mobility in hips and legs, as it will allow you to increase your sprinting speed by improving your running mechanics, which include fully extended at the hip, knee and ankle when accelerating, therefore allowing you to finish each stride, propelling yourself further forward. 5 speed stretches: seated/lying hip rotator stretch, frog stretch, RFE hip stretch, calf stretch. Instructions: perform each exercise for 30 to 60 seconds. Breathe slowly. Inhale and exhale fully. Try to stretch a little further with every exhale. You shouldn't feel any pain at this point when stretching. Push just a little bit. After completing this, you might also consider to incorporate some deep breathing techniques and patterns. I like to put my legs against the wall and lie in this position while breathing deeply for 3 to 5 minutes and focusing on my breath. Recovery stage should take about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. The end. Thank you very much for paying attention and listening to this article, to this podcast. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll get to you guys soon.